Hispanics are causing panic, baby. Let's do it.
Ora de raza, GFunky Boxing of HCP. That's Hispanics causing panic. Here for another episode of HCP Uncensored. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, D-Style Boxing. We also have Chicano Prophet, who's a part of the HCP Familia. Guido is here as well. HCP's in the house, and we got a special guest here, the Brotherhood.
HCP, homie.
That's right. He's gonna come out here and talk to us about a few things. What's going on, Brotherhood? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Y'all about to give me hell today, huh?
No. Well, here's
Lisa always gives hell, but that's just my nature. You know what I mean?
Well, here's what we'll do real quickly. I want to just say to anybody that comes in and catches the replay, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, so you know every time that I go live for Uncensored. And again, this is your guys' platform to come on here and speak with us, and that's exactly what the Brotherhood is here for. He wants to speak with us about an issue, about a topic, and we're gonna give him the floor. We're gonna give him his time. So here's how it works around here, man. When we have a disagreement, whether it's within the group or with anybody else outside of our group, everyone gets an equal chance to speak uninterrupted. And that goes for, if somebody else is speaking, they go uninterrupted. And then this way, everybody out there knows what's going on and they can hear everything nice and clear. So the thing we had here was Charlo, right? It was Charlo and Canelo. I believe it was on D-Style's video. And I believe it had something to do with Charlo not given the opportunities to get a chance at Canelo. So I'll go ahead and give you the floor, Brotherhood. You can start anytime you like, man.
Yeah, I think we was talking about like basically comparing Canelo and Charlo resume. Y'all was saying Canelo, he's fought so many good fighters. What has Charlo done? And my response was, well, you can't judge them or put them. You can't put the same standards on them, basically, because Canelo has the choice to fight anybody he wants, and they pretty much accept the fight every time because the money is usually right. While Charlo, he doesn't have that type of pull, which means his resume don't look like a Canelo's. Plus, they at two different points of their career. Charlo kind of just getting started still, even though they're the same age. Canelo started fighting championship fights when he was like 22 or something, and Charlo just started fighting championship fights like 4 years ago. So it's like a 4-year difference. You know what I'm saying? Two different times in their career. Now, if Charlo sitting here begging for the opportunity to get a better fighter on his resume, how could you sit here and talk trash about his resume? He's trying to do exactly what you asked him to do, fight somebody better. It just happened to be Canelo, and for some reason, people unhappy with that. And and look at it this way: this ain't the first time that Canelo avoided this man or other people by dropping his belts or moving up in weight instead of pursuing the fight with another champion, which was the time he dropped his belt when Triple G was his mandatory. He dropped his belt when Charlo was his mandatory. He moved up when he was just a champion at 160 and moved up instead of trying to unify. And he moved up from 160 when he had 3 belts instead of fighting Andre. So this is something that's like becoming a routine for Canelo Alvarez, man. Like when the fans asking him to do one thing, he go out of his way and do another. He had 3 belts at 160. Andre was the only champion left. He dropped. He didn't drop his belt. Oh yeah, he did drop a belt, and Danny Jacobs fought for that belt versus Derevyanchenko. Then he beat Danny Jacobs. Then he moved up to like 175 to fight Kovalev. So, and this is after the fact that Canelo Alvarez said, "I want to unify all the titles at 160." Y'all realize it's articles out about him saying that. So he didn't do what he told us he was going to do. Now, why am I supposed to believe he actually want to unify all of the titles at 168 after you just said you was going to do the same thing at 160 and you ain't hold up to your word? So I don't think he actually trying to do that. And I don't have a reason to believe that based on his actions. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's other things that made him move up to 168 permanently and dropping his belt like he did a month or two ago, whenever it happened.
So let me just respond to that really quick. In terms of Canelo's, status, right? Like you said yourself, they're both 30 years old. In fact, I think Charlo's a couple of years older. They've been boxing around the same time. I just want to put some context in what I say and why I say it, right? I don't just do videos like if you look through, go through my history, right? I don't just come on YouTube and just trash fighters. That's not what I do. That's not my style, right? So I don't just go live and say, you know what? I just want to trash Charlo today. Let me do a video and just trash his resume. That's not what I do, right? In fact, I've been a supporter of Charlo's for a while. I'm from Texas, okay? I had the pleasure of interviewing the Charlos when they were very young prospects. I've been following their career. My issue is when, and I don't even have beef with you wanting Charlo right now to fight Canelo. That's reasonable. But my issue is when I'm hearing narratives, okay, about how Canelo's been ducking that smoke since he was at 154. He's been ducking the Charlos for years. I even see Jermel's name be brought up as a fighter that he supposedly ducked. Yet, I don't see any receipts on this. All these channels saying this a lot of them have been around on YouTube for a long time. I don't see any videos from 2014, 2015. I just don't see them. Somebody please point me to them. Where are the videos saying, hey, Canelo, you got to fight the Charlos? They didn't exist because, like you said, and I agree with you, they're at two different points of their career, right? The Charlos are fighting 8-rounders back then. You know what I mean? When Canelo was getting that smoke with the Trouts and the Laras, that's who people wanted to see him fight, right? Those are the guys that people were saying Canelo would never fight. And I do have receipts on that. I remember hearing videos, Canelo will never fight Lara. What is it? What's in it for him? And what was there for? What did Canelo gain outside of the respect from hardcores, to do that, right? And that's why he did it. That's why he fought, right? The Lara when there was really nothing to gain belt wise there, but it was a fight that Lara pushed forward. Lara went to the, to a post fight of Canelo and kind of called him out. And Canelo said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it, right? There's been a lot of times, Brotherhood, where people said Canelo was not going to do something, and he did it. They said he would never fight Lara. I see the receipts. If somebody has receipts that say otherwise, I would love to see them. I have receipts, video after video, people saying he will never fight Gennady Golovkin. Fought him, right? People said he was going to fight Golovkin. He did. He fought him twice, right? Now, at 168 pounds is where he is right now. We all know that he went through this long litigation with the Zone, right? And as soon as he wins that case, he offers a fight to Caleb Plant for the second time now. Caleb Plant turns down the fight. So he goes for his next option. Okay. He fights Callum Smith. And instead of people recognizing that as a good win, instead people want to inject their opinion on the fact that he's beating the WBA super champion, a guy who won, the super championship. They want to instead inject themselves. They want to inject their opinion to take away from Canelo's win, right? And say that he's a bum. He's a Euro bum. This guy's a nobody. Why is Canelo wasting his time fighting this guy? But anyway, this is literally a last-second fight. It was a last-second fight at 168 pounds, and he fought one of the champions, right? Now he's on a mission to become undisputed. Your question is, why should I believe him? All right? Why shouldn't you? He called out one of the other champions. He already has 2 belts. He called out Caleb Plant. He wants to fight Caleb Plant. He's already tried. They've already officially made a fight with Billy Joe Saunders. It's not like it's impossible to do. All I'm saying is, if Canelo is saying, right, that this is the route I'm going, and you're serious about wanting to fight Saul Canelo Alvarez, if you want that opportunity, well, what's stopping Charlo from calling out Plant himself? They're both with PBC, right? They're both with Al Heyman. It's a very easy fight. And tell you what, Brotherhood, if he moves up and he fights Plant, not only will he have an opportunity to win another belt in another division and get a big win for himself, right? Not only will that add to his resume, okay, he will then be able to say, okay, Canelo, here I am. I got one of the belts. And tell you what, if Canelo then says, I don't want to fight Charlo, even after that, I'll be the first one to stand side by side with you and say, okay, Canelo ducked him. But till then, knowing that Canelo's campaigning at 168 pounds, people can spare me the nonstop videos clout chasing Canelo about how, he's scared to fight this guy and that guy because everybody swears Canelo's ducking everybody, yet everybody else ain't fighting shit. A lot of these guys are fighting trash opponents, and we're going to trash Canelo for fighting champions. Who the hell are these other guys fighting? They're just waiting around for the payday, and they're not building their resume. Okay, there is smoke other than Canelo for Charlo to fight. He could fight Andrade. He could fight Plant. Plant's a doable fight. They're both PBC. Let's do it. That's all I'm saying. That's a perspective that I'm coming from.
Okay, and since you don't understand what happened at 154, let me pinpoint it for you. All right. When Canelo fought Laura and Floyd, of course, everybody was like, well, yeah, Trout too. Let me not forget. Everybody was looking at him like he was a savage. He was taking fights that he didn't even have to take, that was tough fights at the time. But when stuff started to get cloudy, that was when like he started fighting guys like James Kirkland, Amir Khan, goddamn, who else? Liam Smith. Now this was all at 154, right? Now, do y'all realize both of the Charlos was champions in that time frame? This man Canelo Alvarez fought Liam Smith in Texas, where the Charlo's from. He fought a European fighter in Texas. You can't sit here and tell me that Liam Smith or Kirkland, or I guess you could say Amir Khan was worth more money at the time, but that's an obvious cherry pick based on the fact that Khan was not a 154 pounder. And he fought him at a 155 catch weight to make it so bad. So you got both of the Charlos in here.
When he was middleweight champion, the catch weight was to help Khan. And for the record, yeah. I criticized that fight. I was not a fan of that fight. I'm not a fan of the Liam fight or anything like that. I've openly criticized those fights. But you got to admit, like, every fighter has fights that are not the top echelon. Who has more top echelon fights? I mean, just be honest, Canelo or Charlo?
You're right. I've already conceded that. But Canelo and Charlo have never been at the same points of their career. So for Charlo to get these type of fights on his resume, guess what? He needs somebody like a Triple G or a Canelo on his resume to where he start calling the shots. But guess what? Triple G and Canelo is scared to death. So what the hell can the man do but fight somebody like Derevianchenko, J-Rock? He fought Trout at 31 years old. People act like Trout was washed up. I could have swore you in your prime at 31 years old. Look at Earl Spence. He's 30 right now.
What do you make of the fact that Canelo offered $15 million to fight him and his own brother came out and said that? What do you make of that?
Bro, there's no reports on Canelo offering no certain amount of money or anything like that.
The lawyer said it and his brother confirmed it. His brother said it. Like let's be honest. If let's have an honest moment right now, right? If Canelo's brother came out and said, yeah, my brother ducked a fight with Jamal, you already know there'll be nonstop videos about it, right? I mean, let's just be honest about it. Like everybody would be taking that to the bank, right? So isn't that at least problematic? Isn't that like kind of troublesome to hear that he was offered $15 million? And De La Hoya said it, and then why would his brother come out and say that in a moment where he's beefing with his brother?
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. In a moment where he was mad at his brother and trying to embarrass him, which we know Jermell Charlo is one of the most emotional fighters in boxing. Ain't no telling what the hell gonna come out of his mouth. and we can't verify that that's actually facts. We know Oscar De La Hoya. Like I know that article by like the back of my hand, man. He said Charlo didn't turn down the fight, but whoever runs PBC turned down the fight. So it seems as if Oscar was saying that the offer never even reached Charlo. So Charlo himself didn't turn it down. He said, I guess his handlers turned it down. And attached to that article, there was no certain price or certain offer that was attached to that article. It didn't say 15 mil, 12 mil, 7 mil. So I don't know where the hell these numbers be coming from. Because Oscar clearly said in that same article that we ain't about to talk about the numbers in the open, but the offer was turned down. He just said the offer was lucrative. That's all he said. So we don't know what type of offer it was. Offers get turned down when it's a bad offer, right? So that's all we can assume.
This idea that Charlo can't do anything unless he fights Canelo is a made-up myth. It's not true. But what would he do if Canelo didn't exist? Like, what would his options be? Okay, like right now, okay, two things. One, the title of my video that you were responding to in the chat was titled Caleb Plant versus Jamal Charlo is fire. That is a great fight. It's doable. They're both with PBC. There's the same side of the street. No reason why it cannot be done. Do you not agree that is a great fight that he can make?
Yeah, that is a good fight. But at the same time, he looking at a Benavidez fight. He said this out loud in the media. So if it's any fight at 168 that's going to happen, it's most likely going to be that Benavidez fight. And he said this. His trainer said it. Ronnie Shields said he not fighting Andre because, Andre pretty much made it clear that he a bad businessman. And I think everybody can agree with that. It might be a waste of time making a fight with a guy like him. He's turned down fights with Laura. He's turned down fights with Derevianchenko and then Jamel Charlo. He pulled out of that fight right before it was going to happen. So I don't think Andre would even be interested in fighting anybody worthy anyway. So that I'm not even looking at that fight like it's something that could actually happen. I don't trust Andre. But he fought Derevianchenko, who was a PBC fighter. He's ranked top 5 in like every sanctioning body. You go look at ringmagazine.com, he top 10 middleweight. You look at BoxRec, he top 10. You look at whatever ranking, he top 10. So I feel like Jamal Charlo doing the best he can do. On top of the fact that the best thing you can do is go in the rankings where the person you want to fight is ranked at or the champion at and become number 1 and get that fight. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like what else can Charlo do? He was obviously going after Triple G.
Well, let me just say that I want to let either GFunky or whoever else wants to talk say something.
I think Chicano wants to jump in, so he can go after you.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point really quick.
But wait. Let me just. Can I finish off my last point? He went into the rankings. He went into the rankings and became number 1 in the WBC. Now he know Triple G and Canelo's fighting each other for the WBC belt. So whoever the winner was, he wanted him. Obviously, that's why he climbed his way up the rankings and became a mandatory. And then out of nowhere, here comes this franchise stuff. Can you blame Charlo for that? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think you can. It looked like the man just wanted to fight the best, if you ask me. And if you see it otherwise, I don't know how you can see it any other way.
I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm going to make this really brief. I'm not trying to blame anyone. I'm looking at the situation and analyzing it, right? Sometimes there really isn't anybody to blame. It's just how the cards are falling. Okay. It's just how, it's just the way it's going down. But here's the danger with making but Andre's a bad businessman. He's not handling his career correctly. Andre. The problem with that is that then you give the guy who's the A side to you, like a Canelo, the power to do the same to you. right? In this case, Charlo, like, nah, you know what? Charlo's a bad businessman. I mean, he's over there with PBC and he turned down $15 million, blah, blah, blah. Like you're giving them the ability to do that to you as well, right? So you can't be like, Andre, I don't know, that guy, he's not serious, yada, yada, yada. When I hear the opposite from Andre himself, like it sounds like Andre does want some of these fights, and maybe Andre made some bad decisions, going with the zone, and he's still not getting fights out of it, like the Triple G fight. But that's all I wanted to say about that. But I'll let Chicano go. Go ahead, Chicano.
What's up, Brotherhood? Hey, I was listening to what you had to say, and I just had a couple of questions. You were referencing in 2014, around the time that Canelo was fighting Angulo and Lara. You mentioned that the cloud was getting smoky around that for Canelo, and I just wanted to know, were you referencing Jermall Charlo directly, or were you just talking in general towards the competition?
Just in general, like I thought he was a savage when he fought Laura and Trout, and then he was fighting Floyd right before that. So when you go on to fight a Kirkland and a Liam Smith and a Amir Khan, when you got two Charlos sitting here ready for that smoke and calling you out, then it looked crazy to me, man. Because Lord knows Liam Smith wasn't no big draw or nothing like that. Khan was a big draw. But Liam Smith and Kirkland were no big draw to be passing up on a Charlo fight back then. I know they didn't have no huge names, but it's crazy that you fought Liam Smith in Texas, where they from, which would have maximized them selling tickets and pay-per-views or however it was gonna happen. So
okay, so you're in your time frame around 2016 is when Jermall Charlo deserved the fight. Is that your opinion? 2016 when he was fighting Conor Smith.
Jamal or Jamel at that point. Now it's just focused on Jamal because he had 160 and want to fight at 168. But yeah, 2016, 2017, around the time where he was making those fights. Yeah, that's the year I'm pinpointing.
Okay,
but he came up and did the same thing at middleweight.
Okay, because in my opinion, I think the drum was. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. In my opinion, the drum was beating for a Triple G fight in 2016. Nobody was calling for a Jermall Charlo fight. Do you remember that differently?
No, look, that was on the table too. But guess what? That changed when he dropped his damn belt to duck Triple G and then moved back down to his, his special weight, 155.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of both at the same time.
So speaking of like the James Kirkland Amir Khan time frame, that's a great point. You're talking about the belt that Canelo dropped. You don't seem to reference the fact that in 2015 he was busy trying to make a fight in early 2015 with Miguel Cotto, the lineal middleweight champion, only to make that fight in November. You don't seem to give him any credit for that. Is there a particular reason why you think Miguel Cotto wouldn't have been a better fight at any time instead of Jermall Charlo?
No, I'm talking post Miguel Cotto. I'm talking post 160. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked like he was on his way to fight Cotto, then Triple G. You know what I'm saying? And then Triple G became his mandatory. He dropped his belt instead of fighting Triple G and moved back to 155. Now the people are confused. Like, okay, are you a fucking middleweight or are you a 154 pounder? We don't know because you fighting at 155. We really don't know.
Well, Jermall Charlo was doing that up until about 2015 as well. He fought Michael Finney in a 10-rounder in 2015 when Canelo was fighting James Kirkland and Miguel Cotto. It was a 155, and he only got to 154 when he actually fought for a title against Cornelius Bundrage in September, a 42-year-old. So if you're looking at that time frame, Canelo was already making plans to fight Miguel Cotto, the lineal middleweight champion, before Jermall Charlo even ever won a title. On top of that, if you're looking at 2015, that's when there was a lawsuit and Al Heyman took a lot of his boxers away. They weren't doing any business with PBC at that time. So to me, I don't think your timeframes match up at all. There's no indication that Jermall Charlo at any time should have been the next guy to see based on ranking or box office draw.
Wait a minute. So if my time frames are right, he fought Kirkland, Khan, and Liam Smith like in a row, right? I don't know which search order.
He fought Kirkland, then Miguel Cotto in 2015, and then he fought Khan, and then he fought Smith.
See, I'm not complaining. That's the point. I'm not complaining about the Cotto fight. That's a good fight. It's Cotto, man. So I'm gonna name Kirkland, Khan, and Liam Smith because I feel like he could have had better matchups in that time frame. He could have fought Triple G instead of Kirkland. He could have fought both of the Charlos instead of Smith and Khan. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we replaced them 3 fighters right there, he could have had better names on his resume. But
okay, so,
I'm not complaining about the Cotto fight.
So in your opinion, 2016 is roughly around the time frame that you think Jermall Charlo deserved the Canelo fight. Is that right?
I said 2016 or 2017. I believe that was the time frame. I'm not sitting here looking at box rec or nothing like that. I'm just going off of my memory.
I hear you. Well, he fought Triple G in 2016, and so that was, in my opinion, a bigger fight against an undefeated fighter who was a multiple belt title holder, and the fight that everybody wanted, a fight that broke over 1 million pay-per-views. In my opinion, Jermall Charlo was never the guy to see based on rankings. You could say that in 2015 there might have been a shot, but like I said, there was a lawsuit. They weren't doing any business at that time. And on top of that, Canelo was fighting Miguel Cotto. He was establishing himself. He was also doing his own thing, while Jermall Charlo was barely getting going, because in September of 2015, that's when he finally fought Cornelius Bundridge. And then after that, he kind of moved up slowly. You can't expect Canelo to slow down his weight moves to accommodate Jermall Charlo, because in my opinion, Jermall Charlo is just a guy who's famous here on YouTube. He doesn't have that much hype outside of YouTube. He's not a big draw. He's never been a draw. He's never been the next guy to see logically. And then once you start getting into 2017, you could start seeing that Canelo's doing what he wants. He's calling the shots. He's moving up in weight classes. And I don't think him moving up to 168 has anything to do with Jermall Charlo. I think that you guys are just confused that Jermall Charlo is somebody that's worth seeing based on the fact that we talk about him a lot here on YouTube.
No, I think you got your time frames wrong, because I'm pretty damn sure he fought Triple G in 2017. In 2016, I'm pretty sure he was fighting Khan and Liam Smith, which both Charlos were champions at that time. Now, if you're telling me that as a fan that Liam Smith and Khan were better matchups for Canelo at that point than the Charlos, then I don't know. I don't know what you saw in those fighters.
Definitely not. And like I said, I point to the lawsuit in which they weren't doing any business. They weren't doing any business together. There was no business made for any fight between Golden Boy and Al Haymon and PBC in 2016. They had just finished up a lawsuit. So based on that,
look, he did fight Triple G twice. But the part you leaving out is he dropped his belt to get away from Triple G before he went and fought these other fighters. You know what I'm saying? So,
but he fought him fought him twice, bro.
But yeah, I guess my point is, like, you're like, I think that you're a little bit in between. Like, I'm not sure if we're criticizing what Canelo's moves were, or if we're criticizing when he should have fought Jermall, because I don't think that you could point to a particular time where Jermall Charlo was the next guy to see logically. And you were mentioning that franchise belt. Canelo moved up in a way, because that's the other thing too. You're saying, oh, well, he didn't do enough. He should be fighting Jermall. But you also agree, based on your own timeline, that Canelo should have gone undisputed at 160, right?
Canelo said, I'm looking to be undisputed at 160. You can Google it.
Right. And my question to you
why
is,
didn't it? It's not my fault that he didn't, he didn't end up doing that, or even look like he was willing to do that. Like, right. So my question apparently he doing his mandatories at 168 and like versus Avni Yildirim and all of that, because he want to be undisputed. He don't want to lose a belt. But when you was at 160 and you say you wanted to be undisputed, you said, screw your mandatories. I ain't fighting Derevyanchenko. So screw my mandatory. I ain't fighting Charlo. So what's changed? Like, why should I believe you the second time around?
Brotherhood, if Canelo retired right now, is he a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer? Hell yeah.
Okay. So I think he's had a pretty good career. So pointing out like, oh, he should have fought this guy instead of that, but he fought Liam Smith. Everyone fights those in-betweeners, bro. Everybody, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm with you as far as I would like to see Jermall versus Canelo. All right, I would. My only thing is, I just don't agree that Canelo's running scared. There's no history of him running from the Charlos. The only thing you got at like point blank period is that the franchise thing. That's it, because that's the one time. But my only thing would be this: these guys got to stop accepting belts if they know that they're not going to get the shot at the guy they want. You know what I mean? That would
But
take
wait,
away the
wait,
ability
wait.
for the WBC to do that. I don't agree with the franchise thing. I don't.
But wait, on
Canelo's
top
had
of
a
that,
Hall of Fame career, according to you so far, and Jamal just had a step up against Derenchenko. The idea that he's running scared, that there's a history of it. I want to know where are the videos from YouTubers in 2015, 2016 calling out Canelo for not fighting the Charlo brothers. They don't exist, dude. Outside of a couple obscure ones, they just don't exist. Yes, they were champions. They were brand new, spanking new champions. There was also other champions that won 60. They weren't the only champions that won 54. There were other champions. But when Canelo fought Lara was part of the same gym as the Charlo brothers. Lara was also the best fighter in that gym, okay, at that time. When he fought Trout was relevant, undefeated, had just beaten Miguel Cotto. That was a big win, right? I agree with Liam Smith, Khan. I did not approve those fights. They are trash fights, but all fighters, whether we like it or we don't fight, especially in this era, don't fight killer after killer after killer. Nobody else does that. So why do we have these expectations that Canelo needs to do that? This is not
because he's looked at as the number one pound for pound. What the fuck, bro? If you're saying you're the best fighter, your resume is one of the best in boxing. Of course, we're gonna expect you to do things better than somebody that ain't even close to the pound for pound list.
But brotherhood. Do you look at Canelo's last 6 opponents he fought? He fought champion after champion after champion. Bro. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you want Canelo to do? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Canelo has been fighting the best of the best. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Okay,
y'all gotta stop with this narrative bullshit. Champion, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all gotta stop the narrative, man.
Was the champion. Well, I'm saying, bro, how many since he been at 155, not even 154, because that's his own little Canelo weight. How many fighters has he fought that's not better than the goddamn Charlo fight? He's fought, like I said, you got Amir Khan. You got Liam Smith, Rocky Fielding. You got Chavez. You got Callum Smith. Now, I'm on 5 fighters already, bro. None of these 5 people was better fights for Canelo than Jamal Charlo alone or Andre. And Andre was at 154 as well at some point. I think he actually fought Andre. He fought for the WBO belt after Andre got stripped. He wasn't looking for no WBO fight when he had that belt, was he? Fuck no, he wasn't. Now, there's 5 fights that could have been replaced with Charlo at this point. And everybody would have been happier with a Charlo fight over, like I said, Khan, Smith, Fielding, and whoever the hell else I named, Chavez. Like, all of these fights is replaceable, bro. And if there was a Charlo in their place, then everybody would be happy. I'm pretty sure. All of y'all would be happy. Y'all don't even know it.
Like you said.
Let me ask
he
him
has
something.
A Hall of Fame record, like you said, bro. I think he's doing pretty good for himself if he has a Hall of Fame record.
Hold on, guys. Let me
I'm
ask
not saying the fighters he fought is terrible. I'm not saying they terrible. I'm just saying we know Charlo been a good matchup for a long time now, bro. And once you do, you pick 4 or 5 fighters that's not even better than Charlo in a like 3 or 4 year span, and you do the franchise belt situation. Like, what else am I supposed to think?
But I could do the same thing with Charlo. I could say you pick 4 or 5 guys that were not as good as Andre. Why don't you fight Andre? I could do the same thing. Like,
okay, you could do the same thing, but Charlo ain't held to the same standards. Whose pound for pound list is Jamal Charlo?
I agree.
On?
Hey, brother, I don't think Charlo could be Sergey Kovalev. I don't think if Charlo was to move up to 175, I don't think he would beat Sergey Kovalev.
But so you think?
And a lot of people are sitting Kovalev when Canelo knocked him out. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's a fake knockout." That shit was so ridiculous, man. You know.
I'll ask him a question here. Let me ask you something, brother. Let me ask you this real quick. You see what I have shared on the screen here? This is a quote from Andre Ward. Do you agree with this comment or this quote?
No, he ain't no real fighter. I don't respect Andre Ward, bro. No, Fuck no. That's the type of way he think. But that's the same motherfucker that retired at like age 32. So of course he feel like he don't need to fight a top guy, fight in, fight out. You know what I'm saying? He retired early. He don't want to fight at all. He got his best win was a robbery. Like, stop it, man.
Okay. I respect your opinion, just like I respect anybody else's opinion that agrees with me. But I would ask you this then, a follow-up question. Who does top guy fight in and fight out of recent?
Look. I would say Sean Porter. Sean Porter. He fought the best 3-fight run I done seen in the past 5-10 years was Sean Porter. This man fought Ugas, Danny Garcia, and Earl Spence in a row, like back to back to back. So it's people that ain't even on Canelo level that's doing that. Look at Chocolatito. He fought, I'm pretty sure he fought Quadras, Estrada, and he fought, what's his name, twice. Rung Vasai twice. It's guys fighting top fighters in their division back to back to back. It ain't Canelo, but Canelo resume so deep that people want to let him get away with it. I understand Canelo got a great resume.
So let me ask you this:
he got good names on it, but
I got one more question for you, and then I'll let you go. Is Teofimo Lopez doing that at 135?
I wouldn't say
Nakatani, Comey,
and Nakatani. I don't think
brotherhood.
Tio's king, without question.
No,
he's the best guy that they have. Number one, pound for pound, Lomachenko. I don't want to hear it. He beat the guy that everybody thought he was going to lose to. You know,
that's 3 tough fights in a row, man.
But he won. He didn't lose.
I won $300. I won $300 on that Teofimo win because I knew Lomachenko was a hype job personally. But I don't rate Comey and Nakatani on the same level as I rate the guys Canelo been fighting. So no, he ain't been doing good as Canelo. Hell no.
We don't want to do that because you don't want to do that because I could turn around. I could say, you know what? I think Jamal Charlo's a hype job. You know what I mean? We're just going to do that. We can't just inject our opinions and ignore accomplishments. You know what I mean? I don't think a hype job outboxes Gary Russell Jr. like that. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's a thing a hype job does. But
hey, what up, Glenn? What's popping?
What's going on?
Here's what I want to say. What's going on, Glenn? Here's what I want to say really quick, and then I'll let other people speak. But I do respect the fact that at the very least you do acknowledge that you are, and I could see where you're coming from a little better because you do acknowledge that you're holding Canelo to a higher standard than you're holding these other fighters. All I want to see other channels and other people that criticize Canelo, at the very least, admit that you're holding him to a higher standard. Stop pretending like Canelo hasn't fought nobody. He's been ducking people his whole career, and he's a hype job, yada yada yada. Let's, at the very least. So I do want to say, in all seriousness, that I do respect the fact that you do admit that at the very least, because I do understand more where you're coming from at the very least. All right, but I just want to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, you see who at the top of the pound for pound list is Crawford and Canelo most of the time, right? That's why I'm more critical about them. Like, my criticism about them is like, I guess it's more crazy than any other fighter, and Lomachenko too. So it's like I hold them both to a higher standard, and I feel like when you take a Cotto fight and then you take a Khan fight right after, you taking 3 steps forward and then 3 steps back. I don't like Canelo doing that. Like, climb the steps, bro. Quit going back down the damn steps. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So everybody want to see this Charlo fight. I'm telling you, bro. I seen Ellie Sekback on Ellie Sekback channel. People said, who you want to see Canelo fight next? That was like 100K people that voted for who he should fight next. And Charlo was like 60%.
Here's what I'll say. You'll probably not agree with this, but you'll probably not agree with this. But you gotta see that Canelo's going to fight Yildirim in February, not May, not September. In February, that's a very random month. He's going to get the fight out of the way early, and he will have no more mandatories for a while. Now you have to see that as a positive. That means he's going to fight in May again and September again. He just got out of litigation, okay, and I do believe him. You'll not agree with this, but I believe Canelo when he says he wants to become undisputed at 168 because he's showing those moves right now.
But look, the only reason I don't respect that is because when you last time you had a mandatory, you accepted the franchise belt or you requested the franchise belt. That's what Suleiman said. Now you at 168, you got the WBC belt and you ain't requesting nothing. You just want to fight your mandatory all of a sudden. When Charlo was your mandatory, you wasn't going out your way to fight your mandatory. So it's like what I can't look at it the same way, but at the same time I respect his resume. But Yildirim, that's like I said, that's 3 steps back, bro. When you just fought somebody, Callum Smith way better than goddamn Yildirim. Don't take that step back. Just keep going up.
2 months later, bro.
Can I say something? Because if not, I'm gonna have to chime out because I'm doing something. But I wanted to chime out before my battery died. You know what I'm saying? Just chop it up 1 second. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So first and foremost, 3 steps back from Canelo is 1 step still ahead of Charlo. Because what you saying 2 step up fights with Korbov and Divichenko. Well, what else you got for Charlo? What earned him a spot? That's number 1. Number 2, and brotherhood, I'm subscribed to your channel, so don't take it personally. But with this particular topic, you know what I'm saying? I gotta let you know what I feel. So when it comes to this, with Yildirim, again, you have to understand that he moved up 2 weight classes to fight Kovalev for legacy, to bring that division into his legacy, right? Then felt maybe, damn, it took me 11 rounds to knock this dude out. You know, maybe I'm better off at 168. Let me see if that works because, you know, at the end of the day, he did fight Triple G at 160. You know what I'm saying? He went up 2 weight classes. Okay. What's his name? Leo Santa Cruz wasn't able to do it with Tank. You know what I'm saying? Rigondeaux wasn't able to do it to Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia wasn't able to do it with Spence. He did it with Kovalev, right? So on a different note, though, when he moved back down, okay, don't forget the franchise designation automatically allows him to put his name in the hat. When David Benavidez lost his championship on the scales, right? So he lost his championship on the scales. Now the belt is vacant. As a franchise champion, one of the stipulations is you can go ahead and put your name in the hat for anything, for a title championship, anytime you move to a different weight division. So what does he do? The belt is vacant. And this is all something you can see on the internet. I watched the whole thing as it unfolded. So he goes, he puts his name in the hat. Now it's up to the WBC for the opponent. They pick Abner Yildirim. If you're mad at that, talk to WBC, not to Canelo. He's just following the rules, trying to become undisputed. He says, okay, no doubt. Then he gets in a litigation battle because the zone says no, we're not going to let you do that. We don't like that. So he gets in a litigation battle, separates from them, makes a separate deal without Golden Boy with the zone, and fights this dude, number 1 at 168, Callum Smith. So he goes and fights Callum Smith, beats Callum Smith. Okay, top of that division, number 1 in that division. Now when you look him up on ESPN, he's number 1, Canelo, because he beat Callum Smith. Okay, so he beats him. Now he has to satisfy the mandatory because Abner Yildirim technically was supposed to fight first for that belt. Okay, so that's where we're at. So now he has to fight him. Okay, so it's not Canelo's fault just because he's trying to put in 3 fights when he normally puts in 2 fights every year. So that's telling you that he's still trying to satisfy everybody by putting in 3 fights, and he's telling you he wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant to unify and become undisputed at 168. So I mean, like at the end of the day, and I said this beforehand, before because I was watching. So I said this before they even signed the deal and said it. I said, watch when they make a deal a week from now, whenever it happens. And this is on my YouTube channel. I said, you know what I'm saying? In a week from now, whenever they go ahead and sign the deal, people are gonna be complaining about Avni Yildirim when he's the mandatory. I said that before it happened.
Now, you going off a lot. You going off a logic that ain't there, bro. I watched these. Let me finish. I'm about to tell you why you wrong about this. I'm about to tell you why you wrong. You cooked for like 3 minutes.
Go ahead.
I'll sit there and watch Mauricio Suleiman on The Boxing Voice. He said Canelo didn't have to fight Yildirim. He wanted to fight Yildirim. If he didn't want to fight Yildirim, of course, they would have gave him the franchise belt at 168 too. But he wanted to fight his mandatory. Go look it up, bro. I'm sorry.
That's giving him props. You took it the wrong way.
I keep up on my boxing, bro. Mauricio said it out his own mouth. Canelo did not have to fight that man, Avni Yildirim. So you're wrong. You're wrong.
That's giving him props because he didn't have to fight him, but fighting his mandatory. Because it was his mandatory.
He's saying Canelo requested to fight Yildirim.
No, you gotta find it. He didn't. That's I've never heard
that. Y'all gotta go look it up. If you ain't seen the damn boxing stream on The Boxing Voice, then don't tell me otherwise. I seen Mauricio Suleiman say it out his own fucking mouth, and I got a copy of it on my channel. He's saying exactly that. So it's not nothing you can. It's not something you can contest. It's not something you can contest. It's facts. It's facts coming from the source.
Look, if everything Mauricio Suleiman says is gospel and facts, right? Then Teofimo's undisputed then at 135 pounds. Does he say?
Okay, but what he is then? What's the problem? Maybe he is then.
No, as long as you agree to that, that's fine. That's fine.
Whoever. When did I ever say Teofimo wasn't undisputed?
No, we're just.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
I don't know where y'all get. I don't know how y'all making that assumption.
No, we'll just say if his word is gold, then we have to stay consistent with that. El Sazon Moonshine is here, man. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's good? Dímelo, mi gente. Dímelo.
Dímelo, Pons. ¿Qué lo que, mano?
I'm chilling, man. It's a good convo y'all having right here, man.
Yeah, you want to chime in? You can chime in at any time, but I ask again, if somebody's speaking, just let them run, and then you'll run uninterrupted as well. So, chime in, Moonshine.
What's the well, I mean, because I just walked in the middle of it. So where y'all really at and talking in terms of the Canelo Alvarez and what's the really the discussion that they don't like that that he's fighting Yildirim? That's what it is.
As of right now, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Yeah.
Look, this is
overall Canelo's been picking and choosing for the past 4 years. And people don't want to acknowledge that. Let's just put it that way.
All right, let's say he's picking and choosing. Okay, in the span of 12 months, he captured three world titles in the span of 12 months. So he's picking and choosing. Let me see, rematching with Triple G. He's picking and choosing Daniel Jacobs. He's picking and choosing Kovalev. Becoming a 4th division world champion. Now. There's people that pick and choose when you have that power precision. Yeah, he's going to pick and choose. Any fighter that gains that type of power precision, they're going to pick and choose. Now, picking and choosing and cherry picking is two different things. You know, he's not picking like what Tyson Fury did with Otto Wallen and picking somebody that's ranked number 58. He's not doing that. He's actually capturing accomplishments. Now, if you have a personal opinion that you feel like he should want to fight somebody, if you feel like he should want to fight Charlo, then that's just more personal opinion. But if he retires right now, Canelo Alvarez is Hall of Famer. If all these guys retire right now, what they have in their plate?
Hey, now we keep comparing Canelo, and we acting like Canelo and Charlo got the same standards. Like Glenn just said that, and then you just compared them basically to Charlo just now. Why the fuck would you be comparing the person that's supposed to be the best in boxing to a guy that's trying to get there still? Now, y'all talking about Canelo did this. What the hell has Charlo done? Like, that's not even a logical conversation. Charlo's trying to fight Canelo so he can be on that level. What part don't y'all understand?
Let me
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question.
I mean, I said it back because Charlo trying to fight Canelo so he can be on that level. Excuse me.
Let me ask you a question. When you have a title, do you have responsibilities?
Obviously not, because Canelo had responsibilities to fight his mandatory, and all of a sudden here come the franchise belt. So no, it's hard to answer that question.
No, but think about it. A lot of the people that we was talking about it got a title. Plant got a title. Billy Joe Saunders got a title. Charlo got a title. Andre got a title. Triple G got a title. They got responsibilities too. What is it? It is Canelo's out. It is Canelo's the only guy that has responsibilities to legitimize everybody else's legacy, or can they build their own legacy as well and match Canelo Alvarez and bring some legacy into the table so Canelo Alvarez will look at that and be like, you know what? You bring something to the table. I really, really want to accomplish. I can't pass away. Let's get this. That's what I mean about it. I'm not saying that he shouldn't want to fight, not want to fight him, but this is becoming all the Canelo. Because if Canelo picks Charlo, then Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders and Kalen Plant is all mad. Somebody's gonna get mad. He's gonna be ducking somebody because when you're the man up top, you're gonna avoid somebody. But that doesn't mean that everybody else can legitimize. He could legitimize his he could unify. Canelo Alvarez is not stopping that.
And if
Canelo Alvarez.
I'm sorry, but if I could add to that, I want to ask Brotherhood this: if Canelo said that he would fight the winner of, let's just say hypothetically, Charlo versus Andrade, if they decided to fight, would you be forcing that fight to happen? Is that a fight that you would want to see?
You said if Charlo versus Andre was on the table, would I want to see it?
If Canelo says if that fight was to happen and he says, I'll fight the winner of that, would you want to see that fight first?
Of course I would, but guess what? People keep putting these scenarios out there like he need to fight him and then maybe Canelo will pick him. He need to fight Plant or he need to fight Benavidez. Canelo ain't saying this shit. It's only his fans saying that shit.
That's the way it works though, man. I mean,
how do we know it worked like that when Amir Khan and Liam Smith getting picked without doing that same type of shit? How did Chavez and Rocky Fielding get picked if they wasn't doing that same type of shit? So you can't pass that logic off on me like that's the way you get a Canelo fight, because there's been plenty of fighters that ain't unified or fought the best that was available and they got that shot at Canelo. Now it's only one man in this world that went out of his way to be a mandatory for Triple G and Canelo, and that's Jamal Charlo. That's when ain't no picking involved when you become a mandatory. You either fight the guy or drop your damn belt. Now, in this situation, there was a third option outside of fight the guy or dropping your belt. You became the franchise champion. So that was your third option. Now, they had to make that shit up out of thin air for that to happen. But guess what? Charlo trapped him. He trapped him. Only one fighter done that, and that's Jamal Charlo. No other fighter did it. Well, Triple G did it. He became Canelo mandatory. I forgot. But Canelo moved down to 155. So it's been 2 times Canelo been trapped with a hard fight. And guess what he did? Both times. Dropped that damn belt.
He didn't run away from
he moved up. Well, how we know that Charlo's a hard fight? How do we know that?
I guess it's left up to your opinion. Now, if you don't think Charlo is a tough fighter, a good fight, better than a Khan, or better than a Smith, or better than a Fielding, that's up to you. No, but I think any logical person think Charlo would give him a tougher fight than 3, 4, 5 of his last 8 opponents, I'd say.
Okay. Go ahead, Chicano. You want to ask him something?
Well, I just wanted to say, you keep making it sound like this franchise designation was something that Canelo defended. After Canelo fought Danny Jacobs, he moved up in weight and never went back down. So by your logic, he was ducking 3 mandatories, not only the WBC, but the WBI and the IBF.
He ducked Derevianchenko. That's why he dropped his belt. He dropped his belt multiple times. That's why I keep saying
he got stripped.
Canelo was a 3-belt champion, and then he moved up in weight.
He willingly got stripped.
Yeah, he got stripped, and then they filed that paper, that extension with the IBF, so they could go for Demetrius Andrade and Golden Boy Promotions. They the one that messed up on the paperwork. Thus, the drama begins with Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, and Canelo Alvarez right there.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
I got a question for all of y'all. I got a question for all of y'all. Do y'all really think Kovalev was the best fighter at 175 when Canelo fought him?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, guess
He's
what?
the more proven one. He's the most proven.
Guess what? Use your Google and see what Canelo think about that. Apparently, he think he fought the best at 175 and moved back down instead of fighting the other champions at 175. Now, if you think if you really think you beat the best at 175, which Canelo does think that, go look it up. Then you would stay at 175 and beat the other guys that you think are lesser than the best guy you beat.
So was he top 3 in the division?
Bro, that wasn't my question. He beat the best at 175. We using logic.
I answered your question.
We using logic, bro.
Top 3.
Yeah, we answered your question.
3? Yeah. I'm not sure. He won versus Elita Alvarez. We could say Elita Alvarez number 3.
So name 3 guys that were better than Kovalev at that time.
All right away.
Kovalev.
Put it that way. Right away. Who Bivol and Better Beef beat? Right away.
Better Bivol.
Right away, Brotherhood. Right away.
Alvarez. There we go. Because they 1-1.
Right away, Brotherhood.
1-1. You don't know who better. You need a trilogy for that.
Right away.
That's 3 right there.
Right away, Brotherhood. Who did Bivol and Better Beef beat?
Who did? That's the same shit y'all saying about Charlo.
No, but right away. Because you're saying that they're more than Kovalev, right? So who Bivol and Berta Beef beat? Say it right away. Come on.
I could ask you that same question because guess what? Y'all just said that you don't think Kovalev is the best at 175. So obviously you think somebody better than Kovalev at 175. So
but
tell me
you can't even answer
who better than Kovalev at 175.
You can't even answer who Bivol. You can't even answer who Bivol and Better Beef beat. You know Kovalev more than
it don't
Bivol
matter.
And beat.
Look, it don't matter who he beat. You just using words. No.
Yes, you are.
All of y'all just admitted that Kovalev ain't the best at 175.
Let me answer you, bro.
Hold on. Now, why are y'all asking me who he beat?
Can I say something? Yo, it's my turn. That's it. Yo.
No, you're not gonna cut me off.
Stop filibustering. No, I'm gonna speak, you funky. I said I'm gonna speak.
No,
listen to me,
ahead,
okay? Listen to me,
man.
Here's a point blank, okay? You asked us for our opinion. Our opinion is irrelevant because if you looked at the ring ranking, when you looked at most rankings, they had Kovalev ahead of those dudes. Okay.
And obviously that didn't matter because y'all just said Kovalev ain't the best at 175, didn't you? Didn't you just say that?
I gave you my opinion.
Didn't you just say that? I asked
you because in my opinion he was top 3, and you tiptoed. I'm not tiptoeing around anything. You are. Okay, you're like, I don't know.
And I'm not tiptoeing. I'm using Canelo words.
Top 3 fighter in a division that he had never fought in. Who did Charlo fight at 160 when he first went to 160? Did he fight a top 3 dude?
We comparing Canelo to Charlo resume once again at 2 different points of their career. One guy been fighting at championship level for like 8 years. The other guy been fighting at it for like 4. So why are we comparing them? He trying to fight the guy that's been fighting at championship level for 8 years.
You said that Porter had the best run out of everybody, right? That's what he said. Is that correct?
He fought 3 top 7 welterweights.
What type of pool does Porter have that Jamal doesn't have to get some fights? What type of
Charlo and Porter? Charlo and Porter are not looked at as big draws to where they can ask anybody to fight them and they automatically gonna fight them.
Jamal's not a big draw. I'm sorry to say that to you, but he's not a big draw.
That's what I just said. I said Porter and Charlo is not big draws to where they can fight anybody who they want to fight. Canelo is.
No, that's not what I asked you. What I asked you was, how is Porter getting the fights and fighting top opposition after top opposition, but Charlo can't do it? What is it that Porter's doing that Charlo can't do? Okay, like there's no excuse why he can't fight Andre, bro. None. Okay,
Yeah,
everything you tell me, like when you tell me, like, but he fought guys that were not as good as Charlo. I could say the same thing about Charlo. I could do the same to any fighter in the history of boxing. Even Sugar Ray Robinson fought guys that I could say, yeah, but he wasn't as good as this guy. You could do that with any fighter, whether it's Pacquiao, Mayweather. You can use that logic with anyone. There's been many guys that were top echelon fighters that didn't fight killer after killer after killer after killer. At the end of the day, even you're saying Canelo's at a higher standard. You say it that if he retired today, he's a Hall of Famer. I don't understand this whole the Charlo fight has to happen now.
No,
they're not even fighting in the same division.
Yo, that's like
168 fight plan.
Yo, they cheating Charlo. They cheating Charlo like that guy that he ain't took that girl to the prom. Let it go, man. Let it go. Yeah. Only talking about it's not Charlo and Canelo.
Who is more deserving? Who was more deserving than Charlo to get a shot at the WBC champion?
Jacobs wasn't deserving.
Cool.
That was a unification bout. Which it was
become the mandatory. Did Chinko become the mandatory like Charlo?
Danny Jacobs was deserving. I'm sorry to say that to you.
Danny Jacobs. That was a unification bout, right?
That was a good fight for him. Yeah.
With Danny Jacobs in the WBC.
That was unification fight. Yeah.
That's a unification fight, right?
I'm talking about the WBC. What else do you expect a man to do but become the number one in the mandatory?
Yeah.
What else do you expect him to do?
All right, this is what it is. I'm not saying that, he shouldn't fight him or stuff like that. But y'all trying to say that Charlo cannot do anything without Canelo.
Who said only Canelo.
That? No, right then. So
who said that?
So why we stuck on Charlo? All I'm saying that I'm hearing this is like stuck on Charlo and Canelo.
No, nobody's saying that. That's the only fight out there for him, which is why he fought another top 5 guy in Derevianchenko, obviously. So. But that's no excuse for Canelo and WBC to come up with this franchise shit to protect Canelo. And y'all accepting that because Charlo ain't fought nobody that's good as this person or that person.
Well, now you want him to use
Charlo ain't did that, so he ain't deserve a shot anyway. Like what the fuck?
Nobody like the franchise.
I would say that about anybody else that's waiting there to get picked, but he wasn't waiting to get picked. He put himself in position to where you ain't got to get picked.
Let me ask you a question. Who should Errol Spence fight next?
He should fight the best available. That's who he should fight next.
He should fight
Keith Thurman, Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, Ugas.
Why you don't mention Abdul Kokorov?
Ain't that his mandatory?
Yep, since 2019.
Why he on the list too?
It wasn't on your list. You see, that's like almost Charlo. Canelo probably didn't look at Charlo. Probably the way that Errol Spence probably looking at Abdul Kokorov, Canelo looked at Charlo.
What about Crawford? Why did they say that?
So that's how he came up. So that's how he came up with the franchise belt. So you saying Spence should ask for the franchise belt? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that people want to pick that mandatory when they want to pull that mandatory. I just asked you about Errol Spence. You ain't even mention Abdul Kokorov, but yeah, he was a mandatory. But when it comes to Charlo, wait. So since it's Charlo, you're so adamant about a fighter finding his mandatory. That's what that's why I bring up the Errol Spence, because in reality, people really don't care about the mandatory unless if this is a guy that they've been following, they want them to get that shot. I'm not saying that a mandatory shouldn't get their shot. Wait. I'm just saying that we picking Canelo and choosing. Who Yeardrum?
Who's Canelo fight next? What's that?
It's mandatory.
Okay, then. All right, then.
February, 2 months after he beat a champion.
I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear them excuses, bro. It don't matter how long it's been.
It's not an excuse. You know what it is? That Canelo Alvarez has done enough where the pressure of the fans, they're not pressuring Canelo Alvarez. It's not that he shouldn't do it. It's that Canelo Alvarez is not that fighter that we're like, come on, you got to do it. You got to prove to us something. Because Canelo Alvarez right now, Curry time, become a Hall of Famer. Famer. So the pressure comes with other fighters. We want to see what Charlo could do. We want to see what a Demetri Andre could do. We want to see young fighters with Kalen Plant, David Benavidez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. The pressure's on them because they still elevating. They still try to establish themselves. But Canelo Alvarez, to be honest, is already established. So it's not that we don't want to see him fight these fights with Charlo, Demetri Andre, but the pressure is not on Canelo Alvarez because he's done more than a lot of these guys have done. So that pressure is not on Canelo Alvarez. That's what it is.
Hey brother,
obviously he's done more than they done.
Well, why not Crawford when we asked you about Spence?
I did say Crawford.
Okay, but he should be the one, right? Shouldn't that be the fight that Spence should be trying to make right now?
Hell no. Because I don't care if you have a belt or not. I would be behind Crawford for fighting Spence more if he became a mandatory for Spence than him just having a belt and talking shit from across the street. Now, like when you become a mandatory for somebody, you're going out of your way to climb up a certain sanctioning body and fight who the champion is in that certain sanctioning body. So that's more respectable when it comes to you calling out somebody.
Spence wasn't talking about the sanctioning bodies, about the streets, bro. That was the networks because he's with PBC and you're over there with Top Rank. That's what he meant.
But who forced Crawford to go the WBO route? Nobody. He could have went the IBF route and became a mandatory and forced him into that corner to where you gotta either drop your belt or fight this man. Just like Charlo did with Canelo.
Why didn't Mikey have to do that? Mikey didn't have to do all that, like you're asking Crawford to do. Why did he fight Mikey? Mikey didn't do all that.
That wasn't a great choice for Spence. I'm not about to sit here and protect Spence like y'all protect Canelo. No, that was kind of a cherry. That's the difference, though. I'm gonna sit here and say it's a cherry, but y'all, when Canelo fight a goddamn Rocky Phil, y'all gonna act like, oh, he did so much better than everybody else.
Hold on. No. You ain't gonna do that. He ran up to 160 and beat Rocky Phil, and Rocky Phil was the champion. So what you talking about?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Spence should fight Ugas then next. All right.
But that's my point, brotherhood. Everyone has those cherry. You proved my point. Everyone has those in between cherry picks. Everybody has voluntary.
Canelo ain't everybody, bro. What part don't you get? Canelo ain't everybody. He the goddamn face of boxing. He's supposed to be number one pound for pound. He ain't everybody. He ain't everybody, bro. I'm holding him to the highest standard possible. He the best. He's supposed to be the best in boxing. Well, do the best. Don't do what Spence. Don't do what Spence is doing, bro.
Say loud.
Why is you trying to do what the fucking the fighters that's lesser than you doing? No, I'm holding you to the highest standard. You damn right.
But the thing is this.
Yeah, but even the boxers that was held, even the boxing, the history of boxing that was held to the higher standard, they got the in between fights, bro.
Nobody does that, man. Even guys like
Ali, Tyson, everybody.
Yeah, even the guys that we praise that fought 4 or 5 times a year, they weren't fighting great fighter after great fighter after great fighter. I mean, I'm happy with a guy who gives me 2 good fights against 2 good opponents out of the year, and then 2 in between fights. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. That's to me, it's not an issue.
But GFunky, y'all apparently y'all talking bad about Charlo resume. Obviously, he not one of the greatest fighters in y'all eyes. So why can't Charlo be one of these in between fights? Since he ain't done shit that Canelo did. You at this point, you got to give him some credit if you think Charlo is more than just an in between fight.
I'm going to do what Porter did. Like, you get Porter props. Porter's not this big household name, but he got the fights, that he needed to get, right? It's time for Charlo to make some moves. Like his brother did. His brother made some moves, and look he's one step away from undisputed. So it's not impossible. He could fight Andre.
He didn't want to fight Andre. He didn't want to fight Andre. He's on record saying he didn't want to fight him.
He didn't even want to fight Danny Jacobs. I think Charlo was Danny Jacobs would have been a great matchup.
Like, let's say Canelo died tomorrow. Like, what's Charlo going to do? He can't do anything now because Canelo's dead or what?
Ain't nobody said that. He said he want to fight Benavidez. I'm pretty sure if he'll fight Benavidez, he'll fight a Plant.
That's a great fight right there.
You believe him?
He been calling out Triple G. He been calling out Triple G for the longest, but Charlo can't force nobody to fight him at the same time. It takes 2 to make a fight. They got to want to fight him too.
Good man. go up, fight Plant, and if Canelo doesn't fight him, I'll be standing right side next to you, and I'll say,
we'll be right there with you, man, because the man said he wants undisputed at 168. If Charlo moves up and beats Plant and takes that strap off of him, he's right there in line, man. And we'll hold him accountable to his words, man. You know?
Why couldn't he stay where he was at 160 and take that strap off Canelo? Like he was trying to. That shouldn't have worked like.
He's not gonna move whenever Charlo moves, bro.
I'm saying,
bro,
when
you want greatness, you gotta chase.
It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. It's about that. Y'all really support that franchise belt shit, man?
No,
nobody support the franchise.
I don't think it was ever.
That's where it should end. Then that's where it should end. But y'all say y'all don't want to blame Canelo because Canelo was getting forced to do something. No, he wasn't forced to take a damn franchise belt. Y'all really think that?
So what would you have preferred? Would you have preferred a Charlo fight at that point or an Andrade fight for undisputed? Because you keep making it seem like Charlo was the next guy to see when he wasn't, based on the rankings or anything.
He could have took. I just said he could have took either fight. He had 3 belts at one time when he beat Jacobs, right? And then
that was the
Andre
unification
champion left,
and then he moved up. So the franchise was never a factor.
But he had 2 choices at that point. He had the choice to fight his WBC mandatory or fight the WBO champion. So he either or would have worked for me, bro. But what did he do?
You're making it seem like the franchise saved him from something. He moved up in weight after and never went back to 160.
I just want to say this, and I'll shut up. But let me just say this. Look, we're not going to agree, obviously. However, I do appreciate the fact that you do say openly that Canelo's a Hall of Famer, that you do say you hold him to a higher standard than you hold Charlo. And that I do appreciate, because there's a lot of channels out here that aren't adding that caveat to the criticism about Canelo. They're doing ridiculous lists where they don't even have to do it in the top 10 pound for pound and shit like that. So that I do appreciate, but I mean, I get that we're not going to agree. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to say we'll just, for right now, because we have another topic that we're going to go into, we'll end this conversation. Next week, if you want to come back on again, you're more than welcome to. I got your email now. I'll send you the link if you want to come back on. We could make the whole show about this and not switch topics. That's fine with me. That's pretty much fine with everybody else that's here. But I want to say this before I let you go, man. I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you coming in here and speaking with us because we feel like this doesn't happen enough, man. When there's disagreements here on YouTube when it comes to boxing, there's just not enough civil conversation when it comes to certain topics. You came here, I mean, you got a little heated, but that's just the way sports talk is, man, in general. Not just boxing, but sports talk in general. So I'll let you say your last words, man, and then we'll let you go for the night, man.
Man, it's just boxing, bro. I might sound passionate, but it's because I love boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool, man. That's cool with us.
That's where it ends at, bro. I love all these boxers because if I didn't have them, then I wouldn't have a life, goddamn it. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'd be doing without boxing. But at the same time, man, we gotta hold these boxers to the standards they set for themselves, which is why I hold Canelo to that standard. You know what I'm saying? He think he the best, everybody else think he the best. Well, I'm gonna treat you like you the damn best. Now, you know what I'm saying? But on top of a lot of people ain't gonna ever give Canelo his credit because those 2 failed PED tests. So when y'all puzzled why people ain't gonna give him credit for anything, that's why, bro. And it's not crazy for people to do that either, because that's just how people wire sometimes in boxing. So that actually put a big stain on his career. So when you see people don't give him credit for anything, that's most likely the reason why. And some, dodgy scorecards and stuff like that. So it's things surrounding him that make people give him less credit than he deserved. And especially on top of that, you got the franchise stuff. Like that's the problem with Canelo. All this stuff keep piling up to where you can easily discredit him for certain things. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it like as extreme as other people do it. I'm gonna give him some credit. I'm gonna hold him to a higher standard at least, and say if he the best, then he should be doing this. If he the best, he should be doing that. That's where it ends for me. I'm not racist. I'm not just hating on Latino fighters. I'm not just advocating for a black fighter to fight him just because he black. Like, it ain't none of that. You selling me that he the best fighter, then I'm gonna hold him to that standard. That's what it is, and I love boxing. So,
hey, well, that's good stuff, man. And I can tell you this: I can speak for myself. I can speak for D Style. We've criticized Canelo in the past for some of the things he's done. So, we don't think he walks on water or anything like that. And, we told you here, if Charlo moves up, gets a belt, and he doesn't fight him then we will call it for what it is at that point, But just do us a favor, man, on the way out, hit the like button if you haven't already. I don't know if you're subscribed to me. I know you're subscribed to D-Style. Feel free to subscribe. And you're like I said, you're always welcome to come back and talk about this topic anytime or any other topic that you wanted to speak with us about, man.
yeah, I want all the smoke, bro. I ain't scared to go to nobody channel. Yeah, they should know that by now. I ain't scared. So, yeah, if you want me back, then it's simple as dropping the link, bro. I'll be there. So,
all right. Yeah,
shout out to the whole panel. Yeah, I kept it kosher. Nobody nobody race-baited me and all of that. I keep it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just picking Charlo because he black. Like, as long as y'all don't say that.
No. We don't do that here, man. We keep it consistent and we just keep it boxing, man. That's what we do here. So make sure, man, you see anybody talking bad about HCP, man, you tell them how we treated you. All right, brother?
Y'all got my respect, man. Salute.
And you got ours as well, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man. That was the brotherhood right there, man. I want to thank him for coming on. Good stuff there, man, from him. Punch, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, brother, man. Chilling, man. I'm chilling. How you? I'm
glad you came on, man, because I paid a visit to somebody the other night, man. I went over to Akaka Caquitas. I went over to his channel, man, and gave him a phone call.
Hey. You went to him?
Oh, I absolutely did, man. And let me tell you,
we denounce him from our tribe, my friend.
I went over there, man. Let me tell you, man. I got some good work in on the bag, bro. I used them for a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
I did know. I did check it out. I checked it out from midway to the end when they I was getting messy. Yo, GFunky is up there. So I did check it out from the midway to the end and stuff like that. I mean, man, is these debates, man, is the glove gates and stuff like that. Is I'm like, yo, if anybody, if you're really all about the glove gate and you may have money, you may have some funds, how about you get him a lawyer? How about you give Deontay Wilder lawyers? You do a criminal case. How about you testify? I dare you to testify if you believe in that shit. Testify. Mm-hmm. Take it deep, man. Don't debate on boxing. Go ahead. Hire a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You know what it is that I think people are frustrated out there that shit just hit them in their face. They spent so much time with that narrative and that shit ended. Fell off the cliff.
Here's what I'll say, man. What happened was the other night. This happened right here. I'm gonna play some audio. This happened though.
So you seen Deontay Wilder's his accusations? You believe that Tyson Fury cheated?
Nah, Tyson Fury punched the shit out of Deontay Wilder. Don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he beat his ass. Cool.
So
yeah, damn, bro. Hey, GFunky, you gonna have a lot of haters coming after you now.
It is what it is, man. But I'll say this, man. When I heard that, Aki's a guy who says this, right? You're a decaf, right? If you don't believe in Glovegate, you're a decaf. So I simply went over to his channel and asked him, to keep the same energy towards Charlo. You don't be a hypocrite. Don't be shy. But here's what happened, right? I'm there, and Guido, you could attest to this because you were there. Black and Brown.
We were all there.
D-Style was there. Hey, you guys kept lighting up the chat, telling them to answer 916. That's the area code I was
We
calling
put the
from.
pressure on that Mexican style type of shit.
Exactly. And the dude had me, let me tell you, man, the dude had me waiting like 45 minutes before I even got on. He was trying to wait me out. He was hoping I would hang up. He tried to act like his camera was dead, or he said something like that. Then he comes back. Yeah, he starts talking about some topic about McGregor and Mayweather, the shit that's not even relevant, you know? But he had no choice but to get me on because I was waiting there the whole time. I wasn't going to let him get off the hook. But this is what he had to say to me after he had me waiting 45 minutes. Check this out.
Where are you calling from?
This is GFunk calling out of 916. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. About time, man. You stay in the comment section, but you didn't call in. So what's going on? So
I'm
you sound like
right now. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Is that all right?
I guess, it's about time. Like, what do you mean it's about? It's about time you let me on, fucking punk, you know? You was waiting
GFunky,
45 minutes.
You notice he was drinking his water? That dude was all sweating. Right before you came in, so let me get a sip of this water.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that smoke, man.
So I'm like, hey, man, it's about time for me. No, it's about time for you. You know what I'm saying? It's about time you let me on and let me ask you some questions. So here's the first thing I asked him right here. Let's get into it.
Said a lot of things about Glovegate, about Tyson Fury for the past year now. And your boy Jamal Charlo just came out on IG and said that it's all bullshit. He doesn't believe none of it, and that Wilder got his ass kicked. You say people are decaf if they don't believe in Glovegate? So you're going to keep the same energy with Charlo or what?
everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I mean, I only could put the truth in front of you. I can't force you to believe it. Now, you could tell me.
What happened to everyone's a decaf, bro, if they don't believe that Tyson Fury cheated? You know, like, you hear how nice this guy is now all of a sudden?
But that's what I mean. If it's true, then hire your boy. You know, you probably get some good super chats out there, my brother. Hire your boy a good lawyer. You said whatever you present is the truth. At least you should just say, I'm presenting you out there what's out there. Now you could take it for what, if you could take it if it's a true or a lie, but you're trying to say this is the truth. If this is the truth, then you got a case, my brother. Then you got a case.
Yo, they're comparing this to Resto Collins. Okay, if somebody came to me and said, "Now you know what? I don't think Resto cheated," I'll give him the middle finger. Is what I would do. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, I mean, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion." You know, like if you really believe it, he should have trashed Charlo if he really believed it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would expect him to be consistent if he had the truth. I mean, right or wrong, the truth should just stand against anything. You know.
You know what's sad? You know what's sad is that you're handcuffed. There's people out there that's handcuffed to their own channels. They're slave to their own channels. They may perceive as balls, but they can't even.
Oh, did we lose you, Punch?
Yeah, he froze up.
Yeah, he froze. It's all good. So basically, the conversation started off with that, and he's, again, he's all happy as can be, nice as can be when it comes to Charlo, but everyone else is a decaf. So here's the next clip that I'm going to play for you guys. Let's check it out.
Like when it comes to that photographer, the organic photo where we could see Tyson Fury 4 knuckles, can you please explain to me why we could see Tyson Fury knuckles printed on the right glove?
You said knuckles. Bro, did you not see when he took his gloves off that the man had his knuckles wrapped up? What are you talking about, knuckles?
Explain
There's
to
no
me.
Knuckles there. What are you talking about?
So in the photo, you did not see Tyson Fury 4 knuckles literally printed on his right glove?
You see no knuckles there, bro. Did he not have his hands wrapped with gauze and tape?
Is this like when it comes to
What on earth is this guy talking about, man? Punch, hopefully you could hop back on, man. I'm gonna just take you off for right now. But again, knuckles, right? We have knuckles, supposedly. I don't know if this guy's ever watched boxing before or what, but I mean, do we see knuckles there? Does anybody see knuckles right there or what?
Nope.
Yo, like honest to God, like I don't think people thought like here's the thing, right? Whenever you're looking for confirmation bias, like as soon as you see something, you're gonna believe it right out of the gate, right? We see magicians make it look like they like they're separated in two, and it looks that way, right? But it's not the case. It's an optical illusion, right? What is so hard about the fact that the glove was caught between the arm and the bicep, okay? And it's creasing, and it's a metallic color, and then you got the lighting, and it's literally a fraction of a second. Like the very next frame, you see the entire fucking padding, right?
Yeah.
Furthermore, you think it's knuckles? How the fuck is it knuckles if the knuckles are covered by the hand wraps? You wouldn't see the four knuckles. He said the four knuckles, right?
Yeah, you would still see him. You still see him.
Knuckles, dude. The dude said 4 knuckles. AKHi, by the way, you timed me out in the fucking chat. I was the only one you timed out. You done fucked up, motherfucker. How about you time me out right now? Can't do that. And I know you're watching too. I know that motherfucker's gonna be watching, and some of his subs will be watching. Answer me this, riddle me this, riddle me that. How the fuck do you see 4 knuckles if you see this shit? Look at this shit. The knuckles are covered by the wraps, dude. Like you can't be that retarded. You know, like if seriously, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. There's no other way around it. Either like you got like maybe it slipped your mind. You know, maybe it's like, oh shit, those are knuckles, right? But once someone tells you, you know what, the knuckles are wrapped. Once someone tells you that shit, something should go off in your head, okay? And you should be able to say, you know what? Yeah, the knuckles are covered by the wrap. Never mind, okay? I'll stick to the floppy glove thing. I'll go with that one instead, okay? Because this other one is bullshit. Y'all know I've been telling you that the damage is done with the right hand. And that you abandoned the left-hand theory once you thought you saw knuckles, okay? Keep changing your fucking theories. You're looking stupid. I'm sorry.
Hey, and this time, GFunky, this is why I don't understand it. You remember when they said a costume that did it? Because it was 50 pounds, whatever. And then the next one, they said it was the water that did it. So, and then they said it was the trainer was on loyalty. Like, which is it? Like, pick one. You know what I'm saying?
Grabbing the bucket referee, too.
God damn, pick one. You know what I mean?
Right. These guys can't even pick one theory and stick with it. It's a million different things. But again, I'm the guy straight up said, "Nah, you're still gonna see knuckles. You're still gonna see like what do you mean you're still gonna see knuckles? The man literally layers of tape and gauze over his knuckles. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my god." But let's continue. Let's go on. There's more clips here, so we'll go ahead and listen to what he has to say here.
Printed on the
man
right
had
glove.
his hands taped, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, so what? You're still gonna have your knuckles
about?
out. You're still gonna have your knuckles out, though. Like, what are you talking about?
Wait a minute. You're still gonna have your knuckles out? What?
Here's the best part.
This dude's
you had
retarded, bro.
idiots in the chat, right? Like, oh yeah,
Idiota.
he owned you right there, GFunky.
Oh, pinche tonto, man. Oh my god, man. Like, let's hear that again. One more.
Hold on.
Printed on the right.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Look, do you guys see me right there? Put me in
Yes,
the
comments deleted. Yeah.
Look at this. You see how like
that's what they do. They time people out. Yeah, that's what they do.
What I say? Okay, they were timing me out. Okay, the whole gang was there. The time was all out. They didn't want that smoke. You guys are allowed to come talk here, though. We won't mute you here.
You
right?
see, we just had a guy on who disagreed with us on a topic. We weren't disrespectful. You see what he said at the end? And I even called this punk ass dude out. I said, man, why don't you come on over here to my platform and talk to me? This way you don't have to play with the mute button like he does over on his channel, you know. But let's go ahead and listen to some more of this knuckles talk. All right.
Printed on the
man
right
had
glove.
his hands taped, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, so what? You're still gonna have
What are
your
you
knuckles
talking about?
out. You're still gonna have your knuckles out, though. Like, what are you talking about?
The
You're still
man's
gonna have
knuckles
your
are covered
knuckles.
with layers of tape and gauze. What are you talking about?
Well, you're still gonna have knuckles. You see how your knuckles look like?
Come on,
your
bro.
knuckles
Stop it.
gonna still
Stop
stick
it.
out. So what were we seeing on the gloves on the photo? What were we seeing?
What you were seeing was a man with his hand trapped in between Wilder's bicep and his forearm, and the glove creased. There's a reason why that happened, because the gloves that he wore were horsehair gloves.
Simple, easy answer. And you know, the thing is this, man. This is the difference between what we do and what these guys do, right? The dudes that we run with actually talk to experts. You know, 97 Rough from Leaving in the Ring had Ernesto Gavion, who is a glove expert from Everlast. Explain the whole process, the reason why they're soft gloves or for parrying shots. They're very flexible. You know, it's not out of the normal to see something like this. He says it's all just bullshit, just like Charlo said. But why don't these guys ever talk to experts about it? You know, I wonder why. But still, you're still gonna see knuckles through the tape. Like, I'm still trying to.
They think that those are the knuckles, bro. Like, they literally looked at that. Oh, got it, smoking gun. Okay, like, are you
must
kidding
be
me
smoking
right
some
now?
good
You think that's
shit.
a
You
smoking
heard?
gun?
Yeah,
They gotta be smoking some shit for them to be like, oh, look at that, I found it. Get
Man,
the
that
fuck
crack-
out of here.
that crack
You
is
have
good, man.
to
You gotta
be,
stay off that.
honestly, you have to be willing to be that stupid. Nobody's that stupid. Like, you have to, like, willingly be that stupid. Okay? Like, no one can possibly believe those are knuckles. And if you have said that, go back and delete those videos ASAP because you sound stupid. Okay? Like literally, we know the hands are wrapped because when they took out the gloves, oh my God, the hands were wrapped. You know what I mean? Like they were fucking wrapped. You can't possibly believe that. Right? And to the dude that came here 2 weeks ago that I said that to, that I said, AKHi is saying that those are 4 knuckles. You just heard it. Okay? Dante's saying the same shit. You just heard it. Right? And he said, no, he didn't mean knuckles. What they're saying is that you could see the fingers. First of all, you wouldn't see that either because there's a bump right here on the knuckles, right? I mean, it's common sense. But no, that's not what they said. Acknowledge what they said. All right? Stop, stop caping for these dudes, man. Stop trying to explain the unexplainable. Just stop.
I mean, that looks like a huge layer of gauze over the knuckles. You know, like you wouldn't even see those fingers there. It's just like, I mean, that crack must be real good, bro. It must be real good because this guy is just, I mean,
let's say
He's a straight comedian clown. That's what he is. Clown.
Wilder said it was an egg weight. Okay, how the fuck? Like, why are you using the bare knuckles theory if you believe in the egg weight theory that dented the head? Y'all sounding stupid out here. Like, pick one. Honestly, just stick to the floppy one from fight 1. Just stick to that one. All right. Floppy gloves. Gloves don't bend back. Even though I've already, how the fuck? Shout out to Red. How to do push-ups then if your hand can't fold back? Okay. Horsehair gloves, you can bend them back. It's a bunch of horse shit. All right. But anyway,
it is.
It's a bunch of horsehair. Is what it is.
Horsehair.
Oh man, you got. Oh man,
I'm heated up. I'm heated up.
Hey, it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna go over all these clips. We're gonna go over all these clips, and we're just gonna dig right in, man. So here's the next one.
To the first point. So you said that it was horsehair gloves. I don't know what kind of explanation you just gave, but name me another fighter that was wearing horsehair gloves. I mean, there's so many, from Canelo Alvarez to so many different fighters, where we could see literally the 4 knuckles printed on the right glove, just like we saw for Tyson Fury. If you believe that's your explanation. So who's another fighter that pretty much had the same knuckles printed on his gloves the way Tyson Fury did against Wilder?
Bro, there's plenty of evidence of that, and I've done videos on it already.
Name me one fighter. Hold on. Name me one fighter.
As early as Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the first fight. And the man was wearing foam gloves, not horsehair gloves. And you can see imprints of what you would call knuckles.
Okay.
Right? You can see Jermell Charlo's knuckles when he fought Tony Harrison in the rematch, bro. Okay, like let's stop the nonsense, bro. People don't believe this. Not even the people that
okay,
you
how about
believe
this?
Again, so I mentioned some names and some fights, right?
You said horsehair gloves, and he's like, "What's that?" I don't even know what he's talking. Like, you fucking stupid. If you don't know what a horsehair glove is, how can you possibly have a boxing channel?
Exactly. Exactly, man. And to say, well, I don't know what kind of explanation that is. Like, okay, horsehair gloves are very, very flexible, very soft. That's a well-known thing. But, you know, he'll go ahead and play dumb. You know what I'm saying? So I named some fights. I named some fighters. So here's what happened, right? After that, he says he tries to put a stop, tries to stall everything, right? And goes, send them to me right now. Send me the pictures right now. You know, so here's what happened. Let's check this out.
What is that? Is that email or what?
No, Instagram. Just DM me. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I have Instagram. I have Twitter and I have YouTube. That's it.
Okay, send it to my Twitter. Hold on, I got it. Send it to my Twitter.
What's your Twitter handle?
Hold on. I don't use it like that. Hold on, give me a second. Is ARABABYAKHI.
What is that?
Okay, so he gives me his Twitter handle, right? So here's what I do while I'm on the phone with this pendejo, right? I go there and look at that. The tweets are protected. I couldn't even send this guy a message if I wanted to, right? So on top of this right here, check this out. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you guys what his page says now. Okay, check this out. You see that? Pending. He still hasn't approved me to follow him for me to even send him anything. This was like 2 days ago. This guy's a complete joke, man. See the way he behaves in front of his audience, you know? Like, you got to be kidding me, man. But look at it. Look. Pending. Look, that's his shit. Look, AKHi TV. We see the Indio with the turban, everything there. Look, pending. See that? This guy's incredible, man. But I'm the one that's lying, right? I'm the one that's lying about the pictures and all that good stuff, right? But yet, I couldn't even get the pictures to this guy if I wanted to, you know? This dude is crazy, man.
That's why it's whack when you go into other people's channels to debate and they have all the control. You know, that's why I don't do it. I already been through that situation where people want to have control and then they be like, don't leave. You can come right back. No, you timed me out, bro. I'm still fucking backstage, but you telling everybody else that you know, I seen it happen. Yo, you ran, and you backstage because they already timed you out. But the people are so gullible, they don't know. They don't got stream y'all. They don't broadcast their own stuff. They don't know. You know?
Not only that, you see how they timed out D-Style. I was putting links in the YouTube chat, and he was trying to act like, I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat. You remember that shit, Guido? Chicano, you guys were there. You remember you saying that?
Yeah, they were timing everybody out that disagree with them.
Yo, bro, I don't even. I could go to any chat and to certain channels. I wouldn't even have to. I could say salute, and I'm timed out.
Yeah. They got snipers in the roof for you or what? Like,
already, let's say like a blue blood. He said, "Nah, I never blocked you. I never blocked you. Now, I gotta see to that, cause I'm not. We cool. You feel me? So he like, I ain't blocked. I said, yo, they probably see me say salute to you, and I already blocked.
It's crazy, man. How they won't even let you get a point across if you disagree. That's just some punk stuff, man. And you see what we do here? Look, a guy just came on. We had a guy on 2 weeks ago that disagreed with us. You know, it is what it is, man. I guess we're not all cut from the same cloth, you know. But so I went on to ask him another question about, and I come to find out, someone on Twitter told me that this guy, AKHi, has made over 140 videos talking about Tyson Fury cheating. 140, right?
He can pay for Wilder's lawyer with that money.
Yeah, he could get a lawyer for Wilder for sure with that. So I asked him, because he's another one of these guys that believes that Wilder had a dent in his skull. His skull was dented, you know? So I asked him a simple question. What happened to the dent? If he had a dented skull, what happened to the dent? So here's his answer. Check it out.
So my question. Can you answer my question?
Where did it go?
The dent's still here. The dent's still on his head. The dent's still on his head. Duh. The dent's still on his head.
Bro.
Ay, qué palomo. Ay, qué palomo.
By the
know what's
way,
funny?
why are you touching here, Aki? When the claim was that it was up here. Because this isn't the skull. Okay? Yes, you could bend tissue right here. We saw Donaire do that to Montiel. Like, so that's possible. So don't switch it up on us now.
Yo, it's funny that you could see that he wanted to laugh. Like he almost knew that his own bullshit amuses him.
Right.
Like just look at play it back. Just look at his face. He wants to laugh. He wants to like.
See my question. Can you answer my question?
Where did it go?
The dent's still here. The dent's still on his head. The dent's still on his head. Duh. The dent's still on his head.
Bro.
The head, bro. The head right here, bro.
It look like he wants to laugh right there.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
The best part is this. Before I start laughing, duh.
Right? You Full House, Michelle. It's called Michelle from Full House. I haven't heard that shit in so.
Let's use our common sense for a moment, okay? If he had an egg weight, first of all, Aki needs to make up his mind. Was it bare knuckles or was it egg weights, okay? Now, we know it can't be bare knuckles because he has wraps on, but that's not here nor there, okay?
Duh.
If he cracked the skull, okay, if he put a dent on the skull with a punch, why didn't he break his jaw? Why didn't he break his nose? Why didn't he break the orbital bones, which are they're not as strong as the skull?
Right.
Well,
Not only that.
Ribs broken.
Right.
No,
not only that.
Say that it was slapping.
Yeah. Not only that, but the man was medically cleared by April, which is 2 months later. Look at Dubois. Dubois got his eye socket broken, right? And he's been out for 5 months. Like he can't return to action for 5 months. Yeah, a guy could have a fractured skull and come back 2 months later. Not only that, the dent's still there, so he could walk around almost a year now with a fractured skull. I guess. I mean Wilder must be a fucking a medical marvel or something. You know, like this is just insane. But here's what ends it all right here to this dent situation, right? And I've been waiting to pull this one out on a lot of people, right? If the man had a dented skull, I'm sure we could all agree, and everyone in the chat could agree that that's a serious cause for concern. Right? Right or wrong? It's a serious cause for concern to have a fractured skull. So, post-fight, a member of the media asked JD's, the trainer, what was the extent of Wilder's injuries post-fight? Let's hear from Jay Diaz himself.
Anyone else right here?
Jay, what is the extent of Deontay's injuries, if any?
He had a small cut inside the ear, may have affected his equilibrium, and so he's just going to get a couple of stitches there. That's really the extent of it. It was a tough, grueling fight with a tough, grueling fighter. And
JD's nuts. All right, that's right. Shout out to JD,
Damn, bro.
a mastermind. Because if this whole shit's true, he's a mastermind behind the whole shit. JD is.
They know.
It's over. The dented skull is over at this point. Go ahead, Punch.
Why they just don't go to the Nevada State Commission and ask for the inspector's name that was supposed to?
Because they're in on it, Punch. They're part of the conspiracy.
Yeah, because the inspector is the one that follows you from the back to the bathroom if you need a pee, if you need a shit. He's there to watch you at all times. He's the one that take your gloves and the wraps. They inspect it for how many days, weeks. These people think that, let's say in the interview with Sugar Hill, that when he said, Sugar Hill say, yeah, we got the gloves. We thought it was supposed to be with the inspectors. No, it's there for a period of time, but you get your glove. That's how you see gloves selling eBay and stuff. Like you get the gloves back, you dummies. All right. It's just there to be inspected. The wraps are there to be inspected. They have everything. So why they just don't name the inspector that was there following, the guy that's there in between rounds? Yo. You know when these fighters say, even Devin Alexander said this, that it's really, really hard to cheat, especially now, because you got like 3 inspectors in each round looking at the corner like this. Even in an exhibition like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., where you saw the inspector in the locker room, If you go check back, because people didn't even notice, even in the exhibition, the inspectors like this looking at Mike Tyson in the locker room. They watch your every move, bro. Watch your every move.
You want to know who else was watching? Okay, that was there the whole time while they were wrapping his hands and putting on his gloves. JD. Who's still employed by Deontay Wilder? JD's. Oh, but they turn off the camera D style. Oh no, but don't worry. The two eyes of JD's were right there. They were watching the whole time. So if you believe in this conspiracy, please explain to me how JD's is not the mastermind behind it. Why is he still employed? Why is he still there? Why are we throwing Mark Brilliant under the bus? Who was giving him the water in the corner? JD's, right? Who said everything was all good after the fight? JD's, okay? So JD's nuts. How about that?
Only thing he said was, here's the thing. If the man had really had a fractured skull or a dented skull, you telling me that these guys missed it right after the fight? I mean, they just asked him right there.
Remember they said he had like a bicep tear, and that's why they couldn't do the rematch right away? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know about a dent in the skull? Like if you dent the skull, which is what they meant, you motherfuckers thought it was a fucking bone dented, okay? Now you gotta keep pointing at the cheek and all this other dumb shit, okay? You said dent on the skull, and the pictures that his brother shared was like a hematoma, okay, with the swelling, right, which was probably swelling that they were trying to move away with the end swell, and that's why it swelled up there, okay? But all that aside, all right? That's what you guys are going with. Like you thought it was if you dent a skull, okay, it's gonna crack. And we know this because in every instance, whether it's baseball and MMA, okay, or anything like that, when they land knees, it always cracks, bro. And the careers are practically over. And to fix a dent, you gotta do surgery. We would see a scar. Okay, you would have to you go from bronze bomber to Scarface. All right. That's how you fix a dent in the skull.
Just be real. He wasn't prepared to fight. He had bicep surgery. He wasn't gonna come in 6 months. He had the surgery. What was it, May? He wasn't gonna come in December. He was not gonna come in November. They was trying to buy time, and probably Fury's like, nah. It's either we fight in December or we don't fight, or the expired date is gonna run. You know? Come on, man. This is. Get back in the gym, Wilder. You could get back in the gym and come back strong. Yeah.
That's really what it's all about at the end of the day, man. These excuses are crazy. So the kid told me this.
Yeah, he didn't beat me. He drugged me. That didn't help you, bro. Like I ain't gonna change shit. Right hand, baby. Like he drugged me. Like, okay, all right. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
So the kid told me I had no pictures, right? He called me a liar in front of his whole audience, right? I ain't got no pictures. I said Joshua and all these other guys, but I mean, look at that right there. Now, for the record, I want to say this. I don't believe that Anthony Joshua tried to cheat against Andy Ruiz, okay? This is just, again, pictures being taken, and pictures can be very deceiving, bro. But according to this guy, that's knuckles right there. I mean, tell me if I'm right or wrong. If that was Tyson Fury's glove right there, they'd be saying the same bullshit, right or wrong?
It's caved in. How can you possibly, how can gloves get caved in?
Look at all those knuckles.
Crazy stuff, man.
It's the lighting, just maybe. Okay.
Look at that. This one here is worse because look at Charlo's right glove, and then look at his left glove. They look totally different in size. There's a crease there in the middle. You see 3 lines, which could be knuckles. And again, I don't think Charlo's cheating. I don't think he tried to do anything to his gloves or anything like that. It's just, again, lighting, angles, whatnot, But I'm the liar, right?
Y'all want me to keep it real? Y'all want me to keep it real, man? This is raw GFunky up in here. Is we gonna bring something new, so people can really check out? You want to know my own theory? Since everybody want to come out with theory, we should just come out. I want to come out with a theory. I want people to check it out whenever you got the time.
Yeah.
You remember when they said that you know, when your gloves is loose, you know, that fighters like to, you know, pull their gloves so they're fit, so their knuckles could be in the, so it won't be, you know, all the way in, you know, in the upper padding, put it that way, right? What do you think they came out with that? You think that Wilder never done that before? Let me ask you a question.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Now, whenever you get the time, go to the Dominic Brazil, Deontay Wilder fight, knockout. Put it on slow motion. Tell me what he's doing with his glove.
We'll definitely take a look at it.
You want to see? You want to see? You want to see real shit?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Yeah.
While you pull that up, I also heard that Fury cheated because he had him in headlocks. Even though I saw Wilder get you know, Areola in headlocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also heard MX gloves are illegal, even though Wilder's worn MX gloves before. Like, we didn't have a problem with MX
Just
gloves.
Just go to the Showtime, and there's a minute, and you just watch it. Just look at the lead up to the knockout and check out what he's doing with his glove. Then right before he throws that right hand, let me know what you see, how the glove look. Just when you get the chance. I ain't never did a video about it because I'm like, yo, that's boxing, right? Yep. Some guys they like to Mike Tyson was the guy that he want that shit pressed until he wants the knuckle to come out the glove. There's other ones that you know if anybody box, you know, when your hands is wrapped and you've been punching or you probably hit the mitts too much before you're gonna come out. That shit it's like burning, like you want to take your gloves off. Sometimes it's too much pressure. Sometimes so you like, you know, I've done it hitting the heavy bag where like, you know, damn, I wrap, you know, when you wrap your shit too tight and it's supposed to be really loose, not tight, and that shit start hurting you, that blood, that rush. But I want you to check it out real slow.
We'll definitely do that for sure, man. We got some receipts too, man, but we're waiting on it from Wilder himself. You know, a Wilder fight. So we're waiting on that for a special occasion, you know, in case anybody, again, this is an open platform. Any Glovegate guys can come on and speak with us. Ask for a link. You see, we have people on. So I want to go into this now because he tried to stall everything by asking for pictures and having me send them to places that I just can't send them to because he's a liar. He says some things about our brother Rob Boxing, who's HCP as well. So let's hear what he had to say about Rob Boxing. Check this out.
I tell you what, I can do it even better. I can send it to Rob Boxing, and he can send it to you. I know you know Rob Boxing.
Well, Rob Boxing, he ducked that smoke with me. So ask him about AKHi because he didn't want no smoke. He wanted no smoke. So okay, send it to me right now. Send it to me.
So Rob Boxing's ducking smoke. Here's some more.
I got receipts of him avoiding the smoke. I've been begging him to call in. I challenged him to go to his channel, and he still ducked the smoke. So go.
Strong words. Strong words.
Nobody
believes that bullshit. So here's what happened. I said
he doesn't believe that himself. He's full of shit, you know.
Right.
He's gonna try to avoid all that, you know.
So I sent Raw the videos, right, of this kid saying that. So here's what Raw sent me in response to that, right? If Raw's ducking the smoke so bad, right? Why did he block him on Twitter? This is from Raw Boxing. He sent me these screenshots just before we went live. If he wanted smoke so bad, exactly, he's a fucking clown. Fucking clown is what he is. Not only that, look. Instagram, the man's blocked him on Instagram. So I mean, if someone's avoiding smoke, it looks like it's AKHi. I mean, we got receipts over here, baby.
I don't avoid smoke. See smoke with nobody, my friend.
This dude is something else, man. And I told him too, man. I told his ass, I said, look, I came on your platform like a man. Why don't you come over to my platform? Come talk to us. You know? I ain't doing that. Nah. But guess what, man? You have an open invitation for life. You could come on anytime and speak with us. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you, I knew that I was going to be in a position where he was going to mute me, and he was doing that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time I had to say something, you can see him reaching over, turning shit down, and you know, I knew that was going to happen. But I just want to go over there and just say what I had to say to this dude, put him out there on Front Street, and that's what I did, man. I put this dude in a body bag, man. So,
and also GFunky, show your audience that World Boxing TV actually challenged him for a debate. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Show him that video. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me here. I can go to his Twitter too because he put it on Twitter as well, where he challenged AKHi to come on and speak.
To answer NYY Max, why would somebody block somebody for having a difference of opinion? When someone goes against a narrative, okay, that's when they block, right? That's when you block because you know you're not factual. Like when someone's factual and you're telling the truth, that you have nothing to hide. You know what I mean?
Exactly. If you have the truth, like he says, they're about the whole truth. Like there should be no reason to not defend it. You know, at least the right way. It's not muting people and lying, saying send it here, send it there when it can't be sent that way. Acting like you can't share your screen and I can't read the YouTube chat. I can't do that. Like what do you mean you can't do that? You fucking liar. You know, this guy is crazy, man. But I'm finding Raw Boxing's Twitter right now so we can go ahead and see, because Raw Boxing knows this guy, you know, he knows him behind the scenes and everything. So
that's why he blocked him, because he knows.
Yeah,
this guy's he knows about me, man. You know, let me
him
before he exposed me.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Can you hear that?
No. Yeah, people just go over there. Raw Boxing TV, you can check it out.
Yeah,
I cannot hear it.
I saw it.
Yeah, we can't hear it, but I'm gonna zoom it in so you can see. You can see what it says. Challenged him to come get some. So we'll see if this guy is gonna answer the call or not. And like I said, the guy can come here anytime he wants. You know, I have no issue with him coming here. We won't treat him with any disrespect. We'll let him speak.
Maybe.
We'll let him speak until if he gets out of hand, then of course we're gonna correct him. But seriously, you know, I would love to get this guy on. But we know he's going to run and hide, man. I said this, man. He's like the kid on the porch that talks shit to the kids playing out in the street. And then when the kids out playing in the street come up and beat his ass because they're sick and tired of it, he goes to run in the house right away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Sounds
the
like
type
a
of dude he is.
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Open the gate. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, Guido. Go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say he don't want it, man. He knows the truth. You know what I'm saying? He don't want that smoke.
He sure does. He sure don't want that smoke, man. He's lucky I even decided to call. You know, I just want to get in there, get a few sound bites out of him because I knew he was going to start playing the mute game, and he ended up hanging up on me. By the way, he didn't just say, "Hey." Go ahead, Punch.
No, you know what happens? I think that there's people that come into the YTBC and they create their channel, and generally they love boxing, right? They generally want to do it for boxing, but then they see that they may capitalize off it. They see there's gains. They say they can make money off it. Then they start you know, they're being slaves to that one narrative or that one video that got them all these views. So you know what? Damn, I gotta keep this shit going because I just got a lot of subscribers off of this. So now they gotta ride that wave. Like they scared. They scared to do you know, Canelo Alvarez is a good fighter. He's pound for pound. They can't do that because then their own subscribers gonna turn on them. See, they build their subscribers off this type of narrative, and even if they know what they should do, it's hard for them to go back. No, now it's not for boxing no more. Now it's all about them.
I agree, man. And there's people that I seen people in the chat earlier saying that they have the whole thing recorded. If you want, you can send it to my email. But I mean, I have a lot of clips. But here, you can send it. My email is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you guys want to send it to me, I appreciate that. But yeah, man, I had to just finally deliver a KO punch to this dude, and you know, I just can't get enough of this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and play
my
it.
question. Can you answer my question?
Where did it go?
The dent's still here. The dent's still on his head.
Go?
The dent's still on his head. Duh. The dent's still on his head.
Bro.
Duh.
It's sad.
It looked like he was holding the laugh for a minute. You saw that?
Yeah,
like he was trying to hold his laugh for a minute.
Skull to head.
Of
You know,
course,
they were saying
man.
skull.
Yep.
I don't know if that was a jaw. I don't know what the hell he was. The cheek,
It's right here.
cheekbone. The cheekbone. It was right here.
This is funny shit, man. But what do you expect from a fucking tonto like that, man? You know, I think his Mitri rap was too tight that night or something, man. He's cutting off the circulation to his brain. You know, he couldn't think right away when he was on trial. Go ahead, bro.
To be honest with you, I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at the people that believe the bullshit of this dude.
I was gonna say
that
the
is
same
so
shit.
crazy. Like, I'm like, wow, he really brainwashed this dude.
He's just pimping
You know
his
what I'm saying?
sense. That's all. That's all he's doing. That's what these
I
channels
can't
do.
believe that shit. I can't believe
And
it.
their simps come over here. They're like loyal whores and shit, defending their fucking pimp. It's all good. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So,
And then they can't say what they want on YouTube because their pimp will slap them. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
put the pimp hand down on him real quick. You know, like I had to.
He's got a little simps. That's all.
I got my wrench. I got my wrench over there and shit like that, so they can't say shit. They're gonna take their little wrench away.
Mm-hmm. Garbage. Now, this is pure dumpster juice. That's what this is, and we had to put it in the garbage where it belongs, man. So this was another good episode here of HCP Uncensored, and it lived up to the name again. Uncensored. We don't censor nobody. We let guys come in, speak their piece. So I'm gonna go around the horn, man, and let you guys give your final thoughts, and we'll wrap this thing up, man. I'm gonna start with Guido, man. This is your first time here, man. Give me your final thoughts, brother.
No, brother. Yeah, I just want to thank you for inviting me, man. You know, this is a great topic. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we're around, we gotta continue to speak fast. You know what I mean? We gotta bring this. There's a lot of fans are hearing right now. You know what I'm saying? We gotta hope. If nobody can do it, we gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know for sure these guys ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? So you know?
They'll present their
HCP.
facts.
That's all I'm gonna say. HCP. You know?
That's right, baby. Hispanics causing panic. Punch, this is your first time on my platform as well, man. I want to thank you for coming on. So give us some final words, brother, before we close out.
Yo, good looking out, GFunky, D-Style, Chicano, Guido, Hispanic, causing panic. Y'all already know, man. Punch Drunk, aka Moonshine, aka El Adobo, aka El Sazón on the YTBC. Yo, these are recycled contents out here that we're just trying to debunk after debunk, and now it's just a comedy. It's comedy hour to us now. Yo, keep doing what you're doing, breaking things unbiasedly, logically, and objectively, being another instrument to the sport of boxing. Do your thing, everybody. Do your thing. God bless. I'm out.
Well said. Chicano, you still there, brother? You've been quiet for a little bit, man. Go ahead and
I'm
give your
here,
final
man.
thoughts.
I was letting you get it off. Well, I just want to say it was nice talking to Punch. Guido, good finally talking to you, man, on the same panel, dude. And
you too, brother. Good talking with you. You know, we need more topics like this, man.
Hey, man, well,
You
you're
know what I'm
always
saying?
welcome. Dude. It's good to have more Latinos to talk with, and it was also good talking to the Brotherhood, man. We always welcome people to come on
For
over.
sure. So he
with
was a gentleman today.
Yeah, man,
I
it was a good
appreciate the
subject.
brotherhood.
Yeah, dude. You know, I wish we could have gone a little bit more because I had more to say. But it's just a topic that it is interesting. But like Punch says, these guys and their double standards, like they're going to start eating their words this year, man. There's going to be a lot of situations where they're going to have to choose one thing or the other, and we're seeing that with Jamal and Wilder. And you can't just ignore every issue. Pretty soon, you're going to have to start making choices about what's right and what's not. So we'll be here every week, man. So peace to everybody here on the panel. Peace to everyone in the chat.
That's right, man. And the Brotherhood was very respectful. He's earned my respect. And like I said, he's welcome anytime. We might have this conversation again next week about Canelo Charlo. So, make sure that you guys come back and join us. El Dragon, D-Style, my brother, my co-host. Final words, bro.
First of all, who's down with HCP? Everybody, okay? And those that ain't are just hating because
Viva la raza latina. I just want to say that.
They because they ain't us. You know what I mean? But look, man, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, hey, check out HCP from yesterday. Young prospect Sanders Zayas, Hall of Famer Christy Martin. Speaking of Raw Boxing, we had him on, and tomorrow the round table should be fire. We're gonna have speaking of Punch Drunk, he's gonna be on as well. Always a great show. Mariela Espinosa will be on with us as well, because here on HCP, everybody talks, man. Everybody has an opinion. We bring viejas to talk boxing too. You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. That's what it's all about. And by the way, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate the support, and to all the listeners in the Leave It in Ring Network. We can't forget about you guys and on listening to the podcast, and whether it's iHeart, Stitcher, Pandora, all that good stuff. You guys can listen to HCP on Pandora, man, on your app. So if you don't have the YouTube Premium, you don't have to use up all your data and all that. If you have an iPhone, Apple Podcast, don't use up your data. Listen to us there and give us 5 stars. That's all.
That's right, man. And shout out to everyone in the chat. I had a couple of new subs. Mini Max Boxing says he just subscribed. So thank you very much, brother. Appreciate that. Subscribe to everybody that was here, man. Major Key was here earlier. Chicano Prophet, D-Style, Guido, Punch Drunk. All good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We're coming together to kill these narratives, man. You know what I'm saying? They got to end. And if anybody got an issue with it, they come here to HCP Uncensored and speak to us, man. That's what we do around here, man. We got no issue talking to anybody about any of this shit, bro. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that came on. Thank you to the Brotherhood who was here earlier. And you tell AKHi he's welcome anytime. I know some of you guys are watching, some of his little minions out there watching. All right? Go ahead.
Hey, AKHi, puedes venir aquí. All right? Just letting you know.
Simone, HCP Familia, we are out, man. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next episode.